YouTube, what's going on? Mike here, back with another video. What's going on, guys? It's a nice evening. Sun is setting, moon is out. Anyway, guys, how you guys doing this week? Happy Labor Day to everybody. I definitely took off today. Just a needed 3-day vacation. I didn't even work on Saturday, so you know, everything's been good, man. Everything's been good. Appreciate all the love from the last video. You know, I've been thinking some things over, and I think the way I want to go on my channel, because I'm always, you know, if you're on YouTube and you got any type of channel or anything like that, it's like you always want to think of what's the next thing you want to do. Do you want to keep doing the same things? Meaning, like, I usually think about things I want to talk about and then just talk about them, you know. And from my last video, just to clarify, to summarize it all, if you didn't catch it, you should catch it. I just, you know, censorship is real, and I see things that is like when people say how they feel, it's like they can't say certain things. They have to like dance around the answer because, you know, they have politically correct answers, and then they have the truth, and then some people are harsh with the truth, you know. So for me, I wanted to be a little harsh. I don't think I came across that way in my last video. I think I just was being just real. And shout out to all the people who left comments: Jerry Hawk, you know, Trucker2B, Tech Junkie, all my regulars, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for the support as always. And I'm constantly, you know, showing love to people who always show me love. But I'm back to my point, because I realized too from watching myself, catch this light, sometimes I ramble a little bit before I get to the point. Kind of don't like that about myself, but hey, you know, small changes, that's how it goes. Caught himself a fish. You know, small changes. So, but I just see a lot of censorship, you know, things where men try to speak out on issues and stuff, and it's like nobody cares, you know, nobody cares. And that's just the reality of things. And don't get me wrong, because I see that when people try to talk about male empowerment, it's like, oh, you must not like women and blah blah blah, like crazy talk, you know. Crazy talk. I have a wife and a daughter, love them. So I just want the best outcomes, you know, for all the women in my life, you know. So that's just the main thing. And it's just like, it's tough out here on your own. You really can't do it on your own nowadays if you don't, you know, make enough. Family is important, and you know, I advocate for that. Togetherness, you know. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with men being by themselves, because technically men, we're more capable than women being by ourselves. Like, I want to say we're much happier, content, for the most part. Not all men, I'm never saying all, but I know when I was by myself, I was fine, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think my wife knows that about me. She knows that. She always used to say this. She doesn't say this now, but before we got married, she's like, you'd be fine being by yourself, huh? I'm like, I was just always like that. And when you hear these spaces talk about men need to overcome loneliness or know how to just be content with themselves, it's a real thing, you know. That really is a real thing. Like, you know, so I hope I got through my point. And the point is, it's just that men don't have a voice really nowadays. That's all my point was, you know. And it's just like saying the things you want to say. And I tried to show people where I stand on things, and I just tried to come across as, look, the things that they're calling toxic masculinity, I'm probably for that. I don't want to say called toxic, but it's just certain things men need in life to overcome to become great, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing Andrew Tate said, was like, he feels men should have adversity. Now, I don't believe in full, it depends on what the adversity is, but I don't think anybody just have everything come easy to them without hard work, especially men, because, you know, that just is what it is. But back to what I was saying in the beginning. So now the direction I want to go with my channel. I'm still going to be doing everything I'm still doing. I'm just considering talking about different things in life instead of just, you know, motorcycle related or truck related, whatever, you know, because I feel like how I think, how I live, I don't want to say aspirational, but let's put it this way. I'm going to share a little story with you guys real quick about my homie. He watches my channel here and there. I'm not going to say all the time, but you guys seen him. He drives the or he rides the yellow Suzuki 600 that I've had in a couple of my videos because we've ridden together a lot. I'm gonna tell you a story. So around the time I got this bike is when I, you know, was riding with him. You know, I'm like, hey man, you know, I'm getting out, let's ride sometime. She's like, cool. So we started going to riding together here and there, and he knew some guys that were in an MC motorcycle club, and so I was riding with them and him for a while, and I just got to the point where I know I couldn't dedicate time to being the MC. It's just time, and you know, I respect the brotherhood, and they were cool guys. I've told the story before if you've been following my channel from a long, maybe last year I told the story about me riding with some motorcycle club guys. But anyway, I started riding with him, and the more we hung out, the more we talked, the more I noticed some things about his personality that made me start to tell him, because he was already in school going for something in tech, but something he needed to, you know, he always thought the American dream was go to school, get a good job, you might make good money, retire, blah blah blah. So I was telling him, I'm like, look, and I was just straight up with him. I'm like, man, look, I see you have the ability, you have the skill, because he was fixing cell phones. So I'm like, you know, you have technical knowledge, you know. And I'm like, look, man, appliance repair is a good trade. You should get into it. You should consider it. So I usually stop at red lights, but I'm just continue the story. So, you know, I gave him a book on major appliances. I said, check it out. Watch my YouTube channel, my other channel, Mike Check Appliance, and just see if you want to get, you know, just consume the information. And I was just trying to tell him that American dream stuff is not a real reality for a lot of people. I mean, that's just what it is. It's not a real reality for people. This wasn't a real reality for me. But anyway, he started looking at the book. He started watching not just my videos, but other people's videos as well, getting the, you know, how to start a business. And he said, he called me, he's like, hey Mike, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So he was working at a cell phone repair place at the time, and I just told him, don't quit your job. Try to work on the days you're off. You know, I think it was weird days too, like Thursdays and Mondays, some weird days. And he started, you know, I have videos where I tell people which tools are essential and what they need. So he followed that. He got his tools, you know. He doesn't have a van yet to this day. He's working on that, but he had his vehicle. And I'm like, man, you don't even need a van right now. You can use your car. Here's a parts store to get an account with or start one. And let me speed it up a little bit because I don't want to just ramble on. He said he's getting into it, so he started working, doing his own thing, his own business. I showed him how to start his own business, and he pretty much, I don't know, was it maybe a month in, maybe? It didn't work out with his job, so he had to leave his job, and so now all he had was his business. So he was just doing that, just full force into it, and, you know, calling me. There was times when he was just like, oh man, this is tough, I can't do it, blah blah blah. Luckily, my old boss who I used to work for was having problems with his employee, so I called him up and said, hey man, I got a guy, he knows how to do some of it already, he just needs a little bit more training and knowledge. And my old boss, which is Red, he's like, all right man, I'll test him out, see, you know, send him over. I don't know how long it's been now. I mean, that was maybe last year, end of last year. He's working for him, and I can't tell you how much times he's told me thank you. You know, and it's just like I walk him through it, And I've always told him this, because when we had conversation about things that he had to do, I'm just like, bro, I don't talk like that no more, because you know what, everything that I have to do gets done. You know, like I work and make, you know, I didn't tell him exactly how much I made. I just told him, look, I make 6 figures, bro. That's it, you know. And he was telling me he was making maybe 40 something, 50, maybe around there. And I'm just like, look, if you do this and you do this right, within a year or 2 or 3 or 4, because it's different for everybody, you can make 6 figures too, or as much, you know. It depends. Some people are different. Like I said, I already had the technical ability when I started my business, so it was just me learning the business aspect of it, and I was good to go. You know, I already knew how to fix stuff, and it was my first year I was making 6 figures. So I don't want to brag or anything, but when I started my business, I already had 11 years of experience in what I was doing. So I already knew how to bill out, I know how to talk to customers, I know how to fix things. So that's why it was easy for me. But he just started his business, didn't know anything about appliance repair. Told him what to do, told him what to watch, told him what you know, what websites to go here and there, which is all on my YouTube. And it changed his life. And he told me, he's like, man, like, bro, you changed my life. Like I just, and now he tells his friends about getting a trade. You know, like, I don't believe college is for everyone. And contrary to what people believe, trades, you can make a lot of money, man. I mean, electricians, plumbers, you know. I would say too, for my trade specifically, is not very well known. Appliance repair is not very well known. Sorry guys, I know you're not seeing nothing right now, but I just wanted to continue the story and to go back to say this, that, you know, my wife has told me, like, I'm very inspirational to some people, you know, as far as how my work ethic, how I carry myself, how I talk to people. And I think what I'm going to start to do with my channel is to probably bring in those type of topics. You know, I think I'm going to start doing that. People might not be receptive to it, but hey, I think people will, you know, honestly. I think people will probably be receptive to it, because, I mean, mostly men watch my channel anyway. And it's just like, if you have issues or things that I might not have been through, somebody might have been through. It's just the same thing. Like, I watch videos all the time on like I said, male issues, male improvement, and it's like, to me, there's a lot of young guys out here that need guidance. And it's just like me, luckily I had a father, not only a father, but older cousins, male cousins, who taught me things. Just other men, my stepfather, you know, like uncles. Just, I was, you know, blessed, lucky, whatever you want to call it. The universe was in my favor for me to have men in my life to give me certain skills and abilities and mindsets to think. Because another thing too is like male mental health. There's nowadays it's talked about a little more, well, I'll say a lot more now than it was back in the day. You know, nobody cared about males' mental health, you know, because at the end of the day, for us men, like for me, I can't afford to be worried about, I don't want to say to worry about mental health, but I know I'm not going to break down. I can't afford that. I've been through too much in my life, seen too much, like, I don't know, man. I didn't, like I've said in other videos, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. I had to work for everything that you know, that I got. Every single thing, you know. I used to see people get like settlements and stuff from, you know, maybe car accidents, something crazy like that, and it's just like, man. And people just blow the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me come up on like 20, 30 grand real quick. I'll make that into something, you know. But so yeah, he calls me. I just talked to him maybe a couple days ago. He's telling me, Mike, man, I was planning on buying land in Jamaica, because he's Jamaican. He's like, buying land in Jamaica. This was last year, before he started. Later that year, I think the beginning of this year, was it, or something like that. I knew it was cold, so it had to be last year or this year. And he's like, Mike, I bought the land in Jamaica. I'm like, what? Already? He's like, yeah. I'm like, damn, you just started? Like, he's like, yeah, man, the money was coming in. So I'm like, look, that was the, I mean, I've done hundreds of YouTube videos on how to do this, given a lot of people advice on my Instagram and my YouTube, but he was the only one that I kind of like worked with one-on-one to try to get him going, you know what I'm saying? I've let people ride with me before, or like shadowing me to see how I work, how I do things. He's no exception. I think he rode for me for like 2 days. I've had people ride for me for like a week, and it just is what it is, you know? Like, sometimes you got to give back, sometimes you got to help people. I know I'm the type of person that likes to, I like my time. My time is my own. Like, I love to do the things that I want to do, but sometimes here and there I will make exceptions and help people out and what they have to do, you know? Sometimes, you know, it is what it is. So I think I'm going to go in that direction, and I'm not going to just say, hey, start your business, do this. It's just all aspects in life, you know? Like, me being raised by a single father, only really, let me say a strong single father at that. My dad is very masculine and militant. He rarely showed emotion in front of me. So that was one thing. As I got older, now that I'm an adult, me and him talk so candidly about everything, you know, like things I didn't know that I maybe wanted to know as a kid. But now as a man, I'm older, and he respects me more than, you know, and I asked him this before. I'm like, Dad, what if I didn't become what I became? What if I was just a janitor? And he was just like, ah, well, that was your choice, that's what it is. But I'm like, I say that because when I said that, I asked him around the time we were on vacation, and someone he asked to come over, and he introduced my little brother, introduced me, and oh yeah, my son here, he owns his own appliance business, and he's into motorcycles too. And I'm like, why'd you say that? Because he's into motorcycles too. I'm like, oh. But I'm like, you presenting me as saying your son, he owns his own business, makes you feel proud. And there's no way you couldn't tell me that doesn't make you feel proud than if I was just this. Now, if I was just something basic and simple, my dad would always say, well, you need to be the best at that. So if you're a janitor, all right, why you need to start your own janitorial services. You know, so that's how my dad is. He always tries to find a way to get me to start something and do things on my own. Like, even when I was working for the my old boss for how he was telling me for years I need to start my own business. It's just that when I was ready, I did it, you know? So yeah, guys, and so I mean, when I hear things in the media about toxic masculinity and telling men to, you know, suck it up and do certain things like that, it kind of just rubs me the wrong way a little bit, because I was raised like that. My dad, you know, he taught me, instilled all the values in me to be a man, like I said before, to control my emotions and not be controlled by them, you know? So, I don't know. When I see him, like, man, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. They just don't want men to be men. They want them to be more emotional. And it's like, as a man, I don't like being emotional. I just don't like it. I don't like how it feels. I don't like how it makes me feel. It's like, I don't know. That's just how I feel. Now, you might be a man that likes to tap into that side of yourself. I don't. I honestly don't. I don't like when things bother me. I don't like when things stress me out. That's why I'm so easy to cut stress out of my life, because I just don't function properly when I'm stressed out over things, you know what I'm saying? And I've learned to just realize that when I'm stressed out, it messes up my money, because it messes up how I think. So I've learned to, I've found coping mechanisms to overcome that side of myself. And I haven't been to therapy. And like I said, I'm not against therapy, but I feel like certain people have certain abilities or the way they've been brought up to deal with things in a different way, that, you know, they might not need an outside or a third party to help them through that, you know? Now, this is just my opinion, you know. For those of you that don't feel that way, then I understand, I get it. It's just my opinion. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna incorporate that in some videos. I'm gonna start doing that, you know, sharing my life stories and just sharing my journey, you know. I think I'm gonna do that a little more. I don't know, I don't want to feel like it's needed, you know. I haven't really watched moto vlogs where people talk about that type of stuff. So, you know, I just feel like I'm not the one to have certain YouTube videos about, you know, top 5 reasons you should get a bike and blah blah blah. I'm not, that ain't me, so I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna come at it in the way that I'm gonna come at it. So I think I'm gonna kind of just talk about, you know, male issues, male empowerment, stuff like that more often, because that's honestly my life. You know, like I said, I have a group of friends who are business owners as I am, and we just talk about just the things that we see in the world, how we feel about things, you know. And I would like to hear people in the comment section too. Let me know how you guys feel about that. If you think it's a bad idea, well, let me say this: if you think it's a bad idea, that's fine. If you think it's a good idea, that's fine. Regardless of what you guys say, I think I'm gonna go in that direction anyway. And if I lose subscribers, I lose them. If I gain them, I gain them. You know, I just feel like I'm gonna use more of these times of me on my bike just to vent how I feel about things I see on social media, YouTube, all that stuff. I might incorporate clips, but I'm usually probably gonna be riding. I don't want to be stationary in front of a camera. That's not for me. I'm not doing that anymore. So as I'm just riding, doing my moto vlogs, I'm gonna talk about things. I mean, I think I'm qualified to talk about certain things, you know, like marriage. I mean, this is my 2nd time being married, so I'm sharing that thing with you guys. I've been married before. I got married when I was 18, really young, and that's the marriage was that's how I got my first daughter, through that, you know. My current wife now, like I've said before, I've been with her 11 years, and I wouldn't trade her for anybody, you know. So most people don't find their person, and how I see the dating out there is crazy. Like, I have family and friends, you know, who are single, who are out there dating, and they share. I'm a very good listener, and I'm a very good communicator, and I give good advice, or at least so I'm told, you know. And I'm just like, look, for me, I don't want to be out there anymore. I don't want to be out there. I chose, when I met my wife, small little story and I'll be done with the video. Not trying to do a 30-minute video again today, guys. It's probably going on long enough already. But I met my wife, maybe it was 2011, maybe in mid-May to late May. And let's just say she moved in with me in June. Met her in May. Yep. Moved in June, and we've been together ever since. The reason, and before I got with her, I was dating. I was out here dating. All these things that I've seen on the Redpill community and manosphere type stuff, I kind of learned in that period of time. So it's like I have a lot of experience. And then when I was actually met my wife, and I can tell by the way she was talking, how she carried herself, the type of woman she was, and I wanted it. I was sold, you know what I'm saying? And I told myself, you know, since I was raised by a man and have a lot of male tendencies, and, you know, over the years, she has taught me a lot of things, you know, so thankful for her. You know, I told her, I'm like, look, you should come with me. It was a little, I think I'll tell a little bit more detail about the story. She moved down here to her, it's like her ex-boyfriend. They were gonna try to work it out. It didn't work out, so she was still staying there while the mom was like, you can just find your own place, and blah blah blah. And I met her, and we're going to South Beach, and I'm like, let's come to South Beach with me. And she's like, I don't think I could come because I don't know if I can come back, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm like, well, just bring all your stuff and let's go. And we went to South Beach, had a good time. After that, she came with me, and that was that. And I think what it was, and this is why I try to tell some guys how to be, a lot of things that they say in those spaces, the red pill side of the YouTube, is true. At that point, I was already married, so my whole mindset was, I told myself, hey, the next person I'm gonna be with, they're gonna have to be on what I'm on, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, I need someone that's like-minded like me and is willing to let me lead, you know, let me be the man. This is where I want to go in a direction, and this is what it's gonna be. I already knew what I wanted. I met her when I was 24. She was 22. She just turned 23, but 22, 23. And I was just like, man, this is how I want my life to be. This is what it is. I told her, look, I'm not really looking for you to work, because I never wanted my wife or my significant partner to work, as like, that's just my preference, you know. Some men want their woman to work out there 40 hours a week, and it just wasn't for me. Now, did she have jobs? Yeah, but she always worked part-time. I always kind of stressed that, because I wanted her time, you know what I'm saying? Like, the worst thing I would hate is, and this is how I feel in my personal opinion, so don't get offended, anybody. I feel like it's unfair for women to work a 9-to-5, be married, and take care of the kids and do all. That's kind of unfair, because all we have to do, well, I'm not going to say everybody. Not everybody's dynamic is different, because some men help cook, some men help clean, and etc., etc. I'm not that type of guy. Straight up, I'm not. If I'm going to have a wife, my wife is going to cook for me, she's going to clean for me, she's going to do my laundry. That's just me. Now, you can call that misogynist. To me, it's traditional, because my wife has no problem with that working from home for me. You see what she loves it, and if she loves it, that's all that really matters, you know. So my whole thing was, for me to have that, for me to require that from my wife, I would have to work and pay all the bills. I feel like you paying 100% of things, you get 100% submission. I've said this before. So anyway, guys, those are the light things. I have so much more stories I can tell about this type of stuff. I think I'm gonna do that. So just let me know down in the comments. You know, I just want to share a little bit more about my life a little bit. I think I told you guys I've been trading stocks too, even though the market is crazy. A lot of puts. But you know, my whole thing is, one thing I will say, and I'm gonna end it here, guys. Don't listen to people who say money is the root of all evil. Don't do it. Because when I got a little bit of money, man, my life is so much better and so much more fulfilling. Trust me. Anyway, yeah, so don't listen to people that say that, man. Work hard, get money, do the things you want to do in life. They just say sometimes money makes you do crazy things. It does. But for the hard workers, like the guys like me who didn't have money, worked hard to get it, you know, it's lovely. It's a lovely thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, guys, just let me down in the comments what you think. Like I said, I'm gonna do it anyway, but you can always just throw me some stuff you want to talk about. I just want to go, you know, have some deeper conversations. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't worry, like I said, I'm gonna do it on my bike. I'm not gonna be in front of the camera like some of these guys, and it's just not for me. So, you know, that's what the motovlog is. This is gonna be a little bit of imparting my wisdom, you know. I'm not that old, I'm not that young. I'm in the middle, you know what I'm saying? So I do got some experience in life. When I was out there, my success rate was kind of crazy, man. I'm not gonna say I was a player, but you know. Love you, wife. Anyway, later, guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace.